what's up? It's Sean Baligian.
What up? This is Detroit Bell here on the Baligian and Bell Show.
Make sure you check us out on the Woodward Sports Network. Last show of the year, he's Detroit Bell. I'm Sean Baligian. What is up? No, stop. Since it's Wednesday.
Yes. It's What Up Though Wednesdays.
Sounds so much better.
It sounds so much better, but give it a try one more time for me.
What Up Though Wednesday.
Yeah, I'm going to stick with it. So What Up Though Wednesdays, where we focus on local businesses in the area. Today is going to be our last live episode of the year. Going into 2021, leaving 2020 behind us, which I'm so happy that we can leave it behind us.
Later.
Man, get it
Later.
up out of here.
Done with you.
Yeah.
Enough.
Yeah.
You know what? It is. This was such a weird year for obvious reasons. I'm not going to get into it, but it is one of those things, man, that I'm just blessed that health and my family's together and all that stuff. Like, I'm a count your blessings guy, not to get cheesy. I'm totally a count your. I don't like to focus on the negative. It's like, you know what? We're healthy. I'm doing something I love. What do I got to complain about in life, man? You know what I mean?
We good.
Yeah, that's it. That's exactly it. So much stuff to get into. We have to tell you, starting a new New Year's Eve tradition, and hopefully we'll be doing this for a little bit. We'll talk about that. Art's in the house as well, so I'll have Joik talk about that. And Joik will love that the most because Art won't
Everybody,
talk.
Man, say what up to my boy Art real quick.
Yeah, Art in the house. He's running the board for.
What's up, Art? Tell us about how was your day? That's what's up. Good morning, Art.
Good. That is so
I see you had
good.
your cup of coffee this morning. Yeah, you look like a French vanilla cappuccino type of guy. No?
Art's like the nicest guy, and Joy just refers to his trash. It's so good.
And they has the nerve.
It's so good.
They has the nerve to tag me in a post yesterday. Right? Like, show me the whole match. He showed me like a quick 5-second clip of him getting lucky. Like, okay. Like, I can do that too. Like, I literally had that same exact type of play last night. I didn't stream it, I didn't record it, because it's like regular. Like, it's like regular. He gets like 5 kills and he's amazed. That's the difference between, that's the difference between ordinary and greatness. That's the difference right there. So yeah.
I can't believe you did that.
Hey, Art.
So what are you guys doing tomorrow? Explain it to everybody what you're doing tomorrow. Because, you know, it's funny, this is a New Year's Eve, like, you know, no other that we've experienced. And Joik and I were talking about this before the show started. I haven't been go out guy in years. Like, I'm telling you, I haven't gone out and done something probably since the 90s, to be honest with you. It's always, let's chill out at home. You know, I'm going to smoke something. I'm going to watch college football all day. And it's weird because there are no games tomorrow night, but there are games through the afternoon. But a new New Year's Eve tradition, and hopefully we'll be talking about this for years to come.
Yeah.
You guys are going to be busy on Twitch tomorrow.
We're going to be busy on Twitch, streaming. Actually, it's going to be one-on-one tomorrow, so it's no more PCs. It's just his console versus me.
Oh, my gosh.
What was that?
This whole PC talk, like, I get it, but you lost 4-2, and you knew going into it that it was going to be PCs and consoles. Yeah. The other thing is I'll say...
That's why I say I want to just do, like, Battle Royale or I wanted to do Plunder. And I said the other one as well, but everyone didn't have it, so...
But we're going to start it off by doing a multiplayer, you versus me, which, if I recall, you did lose 0-3. You know, I mean, I know
Against who? But you know what's crazy? Every time we play, right, on multiplayer, it gives you the score of everybody. I always had more kills than him. Always. I always had higher points than him. Go back and look at it.
But you lost. You lost.
Okay, but now when we go play one-on-one, we're going to find out.
Yeah, we will find out.
We will find out.
Will you also address the fact that you lied to the audience, though, yesterday? Because you did say you were level 60 and you're level 18.
I thought I was 57, honestly. I thought I was, but I was only 17. But, like, I'm like 24 now.
The mere fact that people can't see art right now,
go check it
makes
right now.
it even better that the trash can was up there. Like, I'm kind of bummed out that Fish ran and took the trash can out of there because it really did look like Joik was having a conversation with the trash.
I was having a conversation with the trash. That's what it was. I was having a conversation with the trash. Yeah.
Oh,
anyway,
boy.
Kennedy, how was your night last night?
Good. I watched the Pistons game and went to bed.
Good. You know what? How do you feel about that Pistons game?
I'm not surprised. It's like
I didn't feel. You know what though?
they're moving in the right direction. I don't care what anybody says.
They are. This is what, as an athlete, I don't look at X's and O's all the time. We look at certain things about a team. For instance, when I see the Lakers play, the energy on the bench versus the energy on another team, on a losing team that's not winning, the energy is just totally different. The team camaraderie is different. I think the Pistons need to build that type of team camaraderie around each other. It's going to take some time. It's going to take time, but it was a particular play when I saw Josh Jackson take it to the hole, and he got the N1, and it should have been every player on the court running to pick him up off the ground, right? Every player running over there to pick him up, and I didn't see that. It was guys, they have to build that respect for one another. Like they have the respect for one another as far as they all wear the Pistons, name on the front of their jersey. But they need to build that respect to where we're no longer teammates. We're brothers on this. Like this is a fraternity, a brotherhood. That if something happens to you, it happens to us. If you're hurt, we're hurt. Let's get over there, pick you up. Somebody steps in your face, I'm stepping in for you. Yeah. You don't have to throw. Like that's the type of team camaraderie we need with the Pistons. And I think over time, I think the leadership needs to start building that type of culture in that locker room.
There aren't going to be a lot of wins this year. I mean, that's just the way it is. Yeah. This is a young team. It's a work in progress. Things like Joik just talked about are good. You know who I like Isaiah. I like that guy a lot. I mean, that's a tough baller.
Yeah.
Give me a guy like he's 19 years old. Give me that's the type of guy I'll go to war with that guy.
Yeah.
So they got the pieces there. It's just I think we're such an instant gratification society now. We are. I mean, you want it now. And I think with everything that the Pistons have been through in the last dozen years, as crazy as it sounds, even winless, I feel better about the direction that they're going. Because there are young pieces, and there are pieces to be excited about, and there are pieces to say, well, let's see what this 19-year-old turns into. Let's see what this 20-year-old turns into. It's crazy. Joik, I'm not thinking about wins and losses so much right now.
I'm not.
I don't expect a lot of wins out of this team.
This is what I see. I'm going to see from the Pistons this year is going to be glimpses of what they're going to look like in the future. I think they're going to have some games this year when they're going to upset some teams when they are clicking.
Yep.
When they are clicking. And that's going to be the future of this organization for the next 2 to 3 years. That's what I see. I think we made a great pick. I think Troy hit the hammer on the nail when he said that he was excited about bringing in Jeremy Grant.
Sure.
I think that was a great pick for us, right?
Yeah.
Right. I think it was a great pick. I think he's going to be vital to this team. I think Derrick Rose, and I know that Derrick Rose, I know that Blake Griffin, they're going to have to remain healthy this season in order for this team to have any type of success on the field, on the court, and moving forward, just period.
Listen, and it's funny because we got a lot of people comment on it. And I know I love D. Rose. It would be in this organization's best interest if that guy goes out and balls the way that he's capable of, and somebody says, D. Rose is what can put us over the top. and you make yourself a sweetheart deal and trade him away for more assets in the future. That's where this franchise is at right now. And that's what's difficult because, you know, you want a guy that wants to be here. You want a guy that can perform. There's no doubt about that. But you have to look at the big picture and say bigger fish to fry.
Yeah.
And that could be an asset this year.
That's
you
the
know,
name.
moving forward. It could be an asset this
And
year.
those are tough decisions you have to make as a GM, right? Coming in, having these type of players who want to be here, who's playing well, and you have to make that tough decision. Now, the decision you make, you have to live with it, right? The decision you make, you have to live with it. You're putting your name on it, so the guys you bring in, they don't perform, then that's on you.
Yep.
All right, that's on you. Right?
Yep.
Yeah, when you trade away guys, kind of like with the big trade to when the Knicks made that big trade to Denver for Carmelo. It didn't work out. Right, it didn't work out.
Oh, it screwed them for years.
Yeah,
It really did.
Yeah, it didn't work out, and I just want to make sure that we make that type of deal. I think that deal kind of worked out better for the Nuggets than the Knicks.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Lots of comments on here. I really don't see how Pistons fans can watch a game and not get excited about the young guys on the team. That comes from Caleb. Darren said over under 10 wins for the Pistons. With the 56-game schedule, like honestly, I think it's going to be right around there. I'm not being funny.
Yeah.
Listen, I think the one thing that you've seen, and I know somebody else commented this, I'll put it in my own words.
you don't think they get 19?
They're a young team that it's no surprise to me that when the fourth quarter is hit, you've watched the opposition go like that.
That's what it is.
That's a young
They're
team.
in the
That's
game.
a young team thing.
And that's where we've been losing the game in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
Right? Like the game last night, they didn't lose the game until they actually was within two, going to like 6.5 minutes.
Yeah.
Of the game, they lost it within the last 6.5 minutes, and even then they made a run towards the end to come back. I think they were down by only 3 or 4. And the Warriors just, you know, that leadership with the Warriors just kind of took a jump and they couldn't recover from it.
Yep.
So right now they remind me of the Lions right now. They're not finishing in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, no doubt. Demetrius said, Sean, you have a history of Detroit sports team. I have a question for you. Will the Pistons will a game this year, or you're looking at an ugly season? It's going to be an ugly season. I know nobody wants to hear it, but I hope you take it in the context in which I'm saying it. This isn't an ugly season like years gone by, okay?
Yeah, well, no
this
hope.
is an ugly season where you actually have a base and a general manager that knows he has to build more. So in that regard, I'm not joking. I'm infinitely more optimistic about the Pistons in the direction that they're going right now than I was a year ago. I mean, because, like, guess what? They have a direction now. It's almost like the Red Wings, okay? Steve Yzerman came in and everybody thought, gosh, damn it, the captain's home, everything's going to work. No. There was a talent problem with that team. Not just here in Detroit, but from an organizational standpoint. And it's like they still have another probably year, maybe 2, of some hard times. But in the process, Troy, what they've done is, guess what? They picked up a bunch of young talent here. They're marinating them almost like a good barbecue. There's your reference. They're marinating it right now, letting that talent go through the ups and downs of whether it be junior, whether it be overseas, whether it be the AHL. And you know what? It's going to be ready. Dinner's going to be ready soon for the Red Wings. And I kind of think like Troy Weaver's doing that same thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like getting that young base. And there's still some rough times ahead. I think Troy knows that better than everybody. I think in the back of your mind watching this out there, you know that they're not ready to make some noise. But for the first time, you're looking at the menu, you're looking at the ingredients, you're going, damn, this could be a good dish. Let's see what happens. This could be a good dish in a little while. Do you like that? I made a food analogy.
I did.
Everything comes back to food.
I did like it. I did like it. All right, about to take a little pivot here. So we didn't finish this yesterday.
No.
We didn't finish this yesterday. So today we're gonna harp on it. The highest paid athletes of 2020. And I had a few. It was so broad though. Kenny, that was a broad question. Now, is it the highest paid athlete of 2020 in the? Everybody, this is Kennedy. This is our producer, Kennedy.
Hi, Kennedy.
Where's
Hi.
the third mic?
The third mic is right there.
You're stuck next to me.
Yeah.
Here you go. Hi, Kennedy.
Yeah.
So everybody say hi to Kennedy and be nice to Kennedy, all right?
Do you want me to stand?
Yeah, she has
Yeah.
to stand next
So-
to me,
I'm
poor
getting
girl.
yelled at for not speaking into the mic.
All right, so speak into the mic.
Speaking to the mic.
Okay, so it was broad, but this is like in general. So like
Is it just-
endorsements, winning monies,
Is this just
salary.
all these athletes in the U.S. or around the world?
international, yeah.
International. Oh, okay. So it's
And
not
so
domestic. Okay.
we
So-
have
okay.
guesses from Twitter. Let's do those first. That we can show everyone.
Okay.
Thank you for all your responses, by the way. Those were great. But no one got the number one athlete on Twitter. No one was even close.
I never would have.
I would have said
never
Messi.
would've.
I would have said Messi.
That's right. I would have gone with Ronaldo
Is
or
it
Messi.
Messi?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say Messi because he's getting like 70+ million this year in just his soccer contract, I think.
Yeah.
I
Like-
never would have guessed who number one was.
Yeah.
I told her point blank.
No,
No
I was
one-
asking domestic or international. That's why I was asking that
Yeah.
because I wanted to make sure. Because I would say it's him, then probably like Ronaldo, and then I would say LeBron is what I would say. And then I would say Pat Mahomes, and then I would say after Matty P, after Pat Mahomes, I don't know. I'll probably have to say Dollar Dane.
You got 3 guys in the top 10. That's how crazy this top 10 is.
No one even guessed a player from the right sport on Twitter
Yeah, it's crazy.
for the number one spot.
But they might have thought it might have just been domestic. They probably didn't think international.
No, everyone was guessing like soccer players, fighters,
Oh.
race car drivers even.
And then
Somebody actually
was
guessed it on
there
here.
any like boxing? It was no boxing.
Nope.
No boxers. MMA?
Nope.
I'm about to say I know it won't be MMA.
You want me to go through it? Well, let's get some guests out
Let's
there.
get some guesses.
let's
I'm
get some
guessing right
guesses out.
now. I'm trying to-
All right. Well, you know what? By the way, a couple people said welcome and hello, Kennedy. Hi, Kennedy.
Oh my gosh, hi everyone.
You know who else said we always? Let me make sure. I want to make sure that I Vendor Rose. Are you familiar with Vendor Rose?
Grammy Whammy.
Grammy Whammy. Always give a shout out to Grammy Whammy. Said, hey, Kennedy. All right, so Darren said Mahomes. Steve said LeBron. Steve also guessed Giannis. Lynn said, Jenna, can we cheat? And then she got the name right. Darren
What?
guessed one of the right names as well. I'll give it to you in just
Good
a
job,
second.
Darren.
Guinness?
I'll give it to you in a second.
Antetokounmpo?
Somebody said Mayweather. Lewis Hamilton. That's a good guess. You want me to give it
That
to
is
you
a
now?
good guess. Yeah, give it to
All
him.
right.
We have a graphic with all the right.
Hold on, no. What about my guy who just? What about Guinness?
Giannis, he's not there.
Johnny's not
Nope,
there.
nope, he's not there.
How
I mean,
is he
it's,
not
it's
there?
it's crazy.
Antetokounmpo is not in there.
Nope. He's not crazy. Okay,
Breathe,
you
breathe,
ready?
They call me Antetokounmpo.
All right, so you got that graphic up? Coming in at number 10, Joy. Russell Westbrook, $64.1 million.
That's endorsements, everything. Okay.
Number 9, the pride of the west side of the state. Look at that. Isn't you like when that comes up, right? Isn't
West
that always,
side of the state.
Use the Forbes list one.
That's what I'm trying to get to that right now. Look at what
Yeah.
the heck
West
is
side
that?
of Michigan?
The west side of Michigan. Football. You ready?
Hold up. West side of Michigan football. Who is it?
Kirk Cousins.
Kirk Cousins.
Kirk Cousins.
Where's he from?
Grand Rapids, isn't he?
Is he from Gun
Or
Road?
no, Holland. I think he's from Holland.
I didn't know Kirk Cousins was from Holland.
Yeah.
Never knew that.
Yeah, yeah. Kirk,
Never knew that.
Neither.
At all.
Kirk Cousins. And so if I can pull this back up, that would be great. This is the same list, right? Isn't this the same one? This is the same one.
Yeah, I mean they can't change
Yeah,
people's.
Well, in today's society, you can always change things. Kirk Cousins, $71 million. Number 8, Lewis Hamilton. So somebody.
Does he drive for Mercedes? Is that his
I think that's
his
it.
thing?
If I could pull this up.
All I know is he's good looking.
Is he a handsome fella?
He's handsome.
That's usually how
Was
it
it
works
was that
itself
the guy
out.
you went on a date with when you was no.
When I was in 8th
When you was
grade.
in 8th grade?
Now, is that before or after you got your hair cut when you were in 8th grade?
That was after.
Come on, did
was
you think I
after.
was not going to bring that up? I'm not going to tell everybody the story because I don't want you to break into tears. So Lewis Hamilton, $72 million out of the racing world. Kevin Durant at number 7, $73.1 million. Steph Curry at $84.4 million. All right, so here you go. Number 5, Neymar, Brazilian soccer player, $95.5 million.
Whoa, who?
Number 4.
Who? Say it again. What was
Hang
that?
on.
Bron.
Breaking news.
Bron
They
was
have it
5?
swapped on Forbes.
Oh, do they really?
So on Forbes,
Yeah.
number 5 is Bron
Bron.
with 88.2 mil.
See, they have him at 99.2 on this list. Isn't that amazing?
I feel like I would trust Forbes.
All right, I'll go
That's
with
like their
Forbes.
thing.
I'll go with Forbes.
Give us both.
I'll go with Forbes.
Forbes like
We'll do both.
tracks everybody. That's their job.
Yeah, they flip-flop. It's almost like Joik and I's top 5. We flip-flop the Bills and the Saints. They flip-flop Neymar, tremendous soccer player for those of you that like football.
No.
I love football. I really, truly do.
The list
Yeah.
that's on the screen is according to Forbes. So
Yes.
Yes, this is Forbes on the screen.
So Neymar is at number 5. LeBron is at number 4 on this. The list on the screen is LeBron and Neymar. Number 3, Messi,
Yep, we got the same number there.
$104 million. Is that a good year? Cristiano Ronaldo, speaking of handsome fellas, are we allowed to talk about how handsome Cristiano Ronaldo is?
He is handsome.
He is. He's dreamy. I would go
Dreamy.
next step and call Cristiano Ronaldo dreamy. Have you ever seen Cristiano Ronaldo? You can see the look that Joik's giving me right
I
now.
didn't say
Sus.
anything.
Sus.
No, I ain't
Here,
say
look
nothing.
at, look at
I
that.
didn't say anything.
See
Well,
that?
that's not a
That's
dreamy
not a
face.
dreamy
He's
face.
He's
screaming in
kinda
that
dreamy.
picture.
We're allowed to
But he
say
is
that.
dreamy. I'd say number 1's dreamy too.
$105 million. And number 1, Roger Federer.
They're really making that type of money in tennis. You hear
Jeez,
that?
oh, Pete.
My daughter is playing tennis.
$106.3 million in 2020.
That's ridiculous.
It's
Alright, so-
mostly endorsements, if
Yeah,
I
look-
remember.
look-
Yeah,
Let's
I mean,
talk.
you usually make. I'm not gonna say you make more money in endorsements, but a lot of those guys make. So I think I wonder what his endorsements were.
His endorsements were like 100 million, weren't they? And
He
then
said-
he won 6 mil in tennis tournaments.
Here you go. Federer earns between 3 and 30 million per corporate partnership, headlined by a 10-year, $300 million pact with apparel brand Uniqlo.
Unico?
Wasn't that one of the Backyardigans? Parents out there, you'll
That might be an
understand.
international
You'll
brand.
understand. He also counts Rolex, Barilla, and Mercedes-Benz among brands he backs.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Dude, 106.3 mil. That's what Roger Federer cleared. My gosh. Boy, I've gone wrong in life in so many different ways.
So many ways. So many ways.
I decided to get into media. Yeah. So this is, look at Jenna said, yes, Kennedy, that's what really matters. My girl. See, Steve agrees with me. Ronaldo is dreamy, but he's no Brady Quinn.
We should have done,
We should have done the
top
dreamy
10
list,
dreamy
right?
athletes.
We
All
could-
right, I'll give you mine right here. Tim Tebow, Darius Slay. Who else is a dreamy athlete?
But Darius Slay's
There's
your
a lot
favorite.
of-
That's your favorite person in the world, though. So
Yeah.
So he's number 4. So he's number 4 for you.
He's number 1 for me.
He's number 1 for you.
Who's number 1 on
But
your
don't
list?
tell Jen.
Who's number
Darius
1 on your
Slay.
list?
Darius Slay.
Is he really?
Why is that?
We can't get into Darius Slay with me. I'm already sweating like I just got hot. I'm not even kidding.
You're
I
not
get
old enough
worked
to have
up.
heat flashes yet.
He is. And you know what the thing is, Joik? You can speak to this. Darius is just a good dude.
He is. That's my guy.
He's a guy. I wish he could have stayed here.
Yeah.
Because we need more guys like that.
In the locker room.
That in the locker room and that wanted to be part of the community. And I don't think maybe Darius got the love that he deserved when he was here. He wanted to be here.
The love that from the community or the
Yeah,
or the,
yeah.
No, the community loved.
And
Yeah.
but his love for the community, I don't think people realize how much he did a lot in the community. And like, I thought it was always cool. Remember what he'd do last year? He's like, I want to go see a high school basketball game. Where can I go?
He did always do that.
And people would say, hey.
Football games too.
Yeah, he'd do that. And then Darius Slay would show up. Hey, look, Darius Slay's here. And good dude. Always liked Darius.
Love
That's
it.
a good number 1 to have.
Thanks.
So
That's
Tim
number
Tebow. Tim
Tebow's dreamy. He was a flop in the NFL, though, unfortunately.
Yeah.
One of the best college players I've ever seen.
You know,
I loved him at Florida. I have a little
of the best-
figurine of him in my
You
room.
guys say whatever you want about Tim Tebow. He was unstoppable.
And he's
in
another
college.
good dude.
Yeah, he's a good human
great
being.
dude. Great human being.
Good human being. All right, so number 2.
Somebody said Global Queen.
The people of Detroit aren't going to like this, but Jonathan Taves.
Okay.
Pretty dreamy.
Okay.
I think Austin Matthews is
Austin
dreamy.
Matthews.
Some
yeah.
people don't like his hair or his mustache, but
Toronto
I
Maple
do.
Leafs. He
Okay.
does have that kind of weird looking porn
I'm
stash.
scared. Where am I how I'm gonna get these scary comments coming at me for these?
You never know what's going to happen. I didn't wake up this morning thinking to myself, let's hear Kennedy's top 5 dreamy list, but here we are. That's what we're doing.
Marvin Jones,
Marvin Jones.
his fit game, unmatched.
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 Okay.
Let's see who else. Golden Tate,
GT.
another dreamy.
Good dude. Good dude.
I love you guys know them and you're like good dudes. So
he knows them more.
this is making me feel like maybe I do have good taste in men. Right? Have I named any a-holes?
Yeah. No. I think you're done with that. After you got to high school, you were
I'm
good.
not, no comment.
I feel like hockey players. Okay. Oh, another hockey player.
Dylan
Dylan Larkin.
Hold up. This is a saying. All right, this is a saying that I've heard about girls who like hockey players, right?
Here we
They
go.
call
Puck bunnies.
putt sluts.
That was one of my nicknames in high school.
Putt sluts. That's what they called them. And
It's true.
I didn't find that out until probably a few years ago, and because I had a friend whose sister who used to like hockey players, and she was like, "Ari called her sister like a putt slut." I was like,
Yeah.
laughing. I'm like, what is that? It's like a girl who like hockey players. I'm like, oh, okay.
Well, all the other girls that go after athletes are cheap cleat chasers and everything else. So
What do they call them? Like football players, like girls who like football players. What do they call it? I don't.
cleat chasers, right? Or is that
Cleat
just
chasers?
baseball?
You know, I'm
I
not
think that's
familiar.
baseball. I
You
never
guys
heard that
never
in
got
football.
called these names, so they don't know.
When I
Yeah.
chased NFL players back in the day,
A groupie.
there
Yeah, we
wasn't-
just called you media.
They're the most vile and evil of all. Get
It's
your
called-
crosses out. Stay away, demon, be
I
gone.
remember, I remember after the home games, when the game was over, some players used to rush up to the locker room to get the tape and cut everything off, get out our shoulder pads, and rush and take a shower before the coaches came up. They had a team talk, because you'll have 5 to 10, you have 5 minutes until the media can come in to the locker room. So players rush up, cut the tape off, get out their pads, and get their towel on, come out the pads, and be in the towel while the coaches is doing the I guess the post game talk, pep talk, and then take a shower, get dressed, and leave before the media even gets in there. We did that.
Oh, you guys were experts at it.
Oh, we was experts.
I would rank the Lions at number 1 as far as I'm concerned. And you know what? Not only was Barry Sanders one of the best that I've ever seen, Barry Sanders was one of the best at taking that back door out. It was amazing. It was absolutely, it was like,
Oh, yeah.
how did you do that, B? How on earth did, but
Oh,
B
yeah.
did it.
They did it.
And so you'd be waiting and you'd be like, because everybody wanted to talk to Barry after the game. And you'd be waiting, and it was like, where'd Barry go?
Yeah.
Barry's Barry. That was a quote. Trust me.
Yeah.
Barry's Barry, and
Yeah.
that was real.
So funny. So if we lost a home game, I would try to be the first one to the locker room to get my anger out. So when team came into the locker room, they didn't know why the trash cans were everywhere. So I'll go out, I'll take the trash cans, and just, I would be out.
Trash cans again.
It'll be like a game that we're supposed to win, and it's just we didn't pull it through, and I knew we had it, and it was just frustrating. And, we couldn't get it going in the fourth quarter, and instead of me showing my anger on the field, I do it where no one can see me. So.
I wish, Darren McCarty, if you're watching right now, there was a period of time when Scotty Bowman was here, where they would put, I have no other way to say it, there was this giant curtain that they would put up in between where the locker room was at Joe Louis Arena and where the workout room was. And the media got banned from
Pull it
back
out.
behind there. And so you would see these guys, from me to Art. And the only thing separating us was this kind of velvet
Pull our
curtain.
game strong.
And we always used to call it like the Wizard of Oz, because like the wizard was hiding behind the curtain. And it was funny because back then, there, you know what? You knew if you wanted a quote, you better grab one of those guys. But it was like, you knew Draper always gave you a good quote, you knew Maltby always gave you a good quote, and Darren McCarty would always come up and talk to people. So it's funny. I've said that to Mac for years, and I think you're going to be seeing Darren a little bit around here. You know, he was in with Joik and I. But I told Darren for years, I was like, dude, I appreciate you. Because, like, if I was late getting to the locker room, which I inevitably was, okay, I was one of those guys back in the day. Back then, you get down there, they were all hiding in the other room. You aren't getting anything. And I got to get some sound, right? So it'd be like, oh, good, there's Mac. So I'd fire the microphone in front of Mac. Mac would give me 3 or 4 things that I could use, and then when we're done, he's like, was that good? I'd go, dude, you saved me. Like, that's how it worked, because Joik, you got to remember, the flip side to that is, and I was a young man then, it was like, I go down to the game, if I don't get anything, I mean, my boss is going to go, dude, seriously, you went down to the game and you got nothing.
Yeah.
You know, and that's what it turns into. So it's give and take, but you also have to kind of earn the trust of guys too, because guys aren't just going to talk to you.
Is that right? Is that, and then it's also guys having the local media feel like the team, they have it the hardest, right? They have to come out with something every single day. They have to come out with something every single day, and so I understood that as a player. So if I after practice, I'll stay and they'll come in and I'll take my time leaving the locker room just in case. You know, I wasn't the big name guy when I first got there, but I would help out. I'll give you an example real quick. So I came into the team, I did my first interview, and in the interview, it was 2011. I said I want to retire here as a Lion, right? I said that on my first interview, and so fast forward 2013, 14. Me and staff, me and Nina, we're in a limo. We're going to this school to surprise the kids because they were going to be they were performing at the halftime show of our Thanksgiving game. And so I never knew this, but he heard that interview with him, and I said I want to retire a Lion. He said when I first got there, he was like, "Who is this guy? Talk about he wants to retire a Lion. He just got here. He hasn't proved anything yet." And then after he saw me play, he said, "Oh, there he is." And so it's stories like that, you know, I was glad I was friendly with the media because they're going to be friendly with you when you're done playing, and also towards the tail end of your career, right?
Well,
so,
you know who knew all about you, because even though you were in the backyard, there were guys, T.O. and Mike O'Hara.
Mike O'Hara. Mike O'Hara.
And so it was funny, Mike and I used to tell our mutual friend, Tom Kowalski, who then saw you down at the Combine, was like, why did you tell me that guy was that good? I'm like, I've been telling you for 2 years, shut the hell up. But it was funny because, like, we were telling everybody, okay, this isn't just a cute story about a kid that played at Wayne State and was a security guy. Dude can ball. So it's kind of funny how that works itself out. I got to tell you something. Since we came up to it, I've been undressed by 2 athletes, and one time it was a learning experience. I asked a question the wrong way. You know how wording is so important.
Yeah.
I was 24 years old. I did not word it the right way. It was 100% on me.
What was it?
And the guy got it. I'm going to tell you who it is. I hope he doesn't yell at me. But I want you to know definitively, Joik, it was on me. It was my fault. And
what sport?
Football. I'll tell you who it was in a second. Chris Spielman. Literally unloaded on me. And I'm like literally standing like this going, this giant man is going to break my neck. He's going, and like I got so flustered by it, I couldn't say I didn't mean it the way it came out. And it's too late anyway. I asked a question the wrong way. There's no other way to say that. Live and learn. But I'll tell you what, you know what was really cool about it? After he unloaded on me, about 10 minutes later, I was on the other side of the room, and like he walks up to me, and he didn't get real close to me. He got about this far away, and he goes, like that. And I come over, and I'm going, this is the end of my life. I'm going to die. I'm supposed to get married
You're not
in a
gonna
year,
die.
but today I'm going to die.
Hey,
and
but-
I've lived a nice 24 years.
At least you have somebody at your funeral.
That's exactly. But you know what he said to me? He goes, "I get what you were saying. You have to word it better, like that." And I go, "I didn't mean disrespect, Mr. Spielman.
What was the question?
It was. I don't even want to repeat it. It was
Repeat
just
it.
dumb. It was dumb.
No,
Something-
repeat the question because
Okay.
we all want to know now. Like we have to know.
Okay, I said Eric Rhett, who was a running back at the time out of Florida, was at Tampa. I said, what was going on today? Eric Rhett ran all over you guys. I could have worded that in 100 different ways, right? I sound like a dick when I say it that way.
And how did he respond?
And he let me have it, and I deserved it. I could have said, hey, Eric Rhett really had a strong game today. Can you talk about his play, or what were you seeing from your vantage point? But I was like, Eric Rhett ran. It was disrespectful. It was disrespectful.
No, it was facts. But
Yeah,
I see where you're coming from.
That's like, hey, Joik, what the hell? You suck today. What? You know what I mean? Like
I suck today.
But there's a right way to say.
That's what it is.
I wish I dealt with him. No, but there's a right way to ask a question, and there's a wrong way to ask a question. That was kind of a learning. But when I say that he went off on me, and you probably know Chris.
Yeah.
The veins in the side of his neck were popping. It looked like at any moment he was going to breathe fire on me.
Darren says, is there any audio of this?
I had a tape. I might have that tape someplace. I'm going to look for it.
You gonna look for it?
Yeah, because you know what? I don't save anything but from early in my career. And you don't like to hear yourself from early in your career because
No, you don't.
everything sounds
you hate
different,
it.
right?
You hate it.
Everything.
Oh, you hate it.
You just I sounded
terrible.
like even more nasally in 15 than I do sound right now.
Yeah, it was like your first time.
But I have a tape somewhere, and I'm convinced that that's on the tape.
Yeah.
Because I'm not joking. And it was funny because as soon as it came out, I literally went, dude, you just sounded like an asshole. Yeah. That's really what happened.
You know what's funny? So when I started doing the Answer the Bell segment for the Lions, where it's like another way for the fans to assess the players, right?
Sure.
So we'll come up with these different episodes, and so we had this thing called if you had to be a car, right? If a car represent the way you play, what would it be and why, right? And I remember going around and answer this question, but it was so hard to answer, to ask the question, and the players were like, huh? And I went back and I heard it. I said, wow, you need some work, Joik. You need a lot of work. So I actually have to go back and watch those to see, and take something from that and kind of apply it to where I'm at now.
I'm going to give you some love right now. Do you remember I had to interview you for Senior Spotlight your senior year at Wayne State? I came in the locker room and had to interview you.
I was horrible.
You were so uncomfortable. It was painful.
Horrible.
It was
horrible.
I'm not. No diss,
horrible.
dude. I'm shooting straight
horrible.
with you. I remember sitting down and you were like, "What are you going to talk about?" And I go, "You?" I didn't know what to say because that's what the Senior Spotlight was. And you said to me, you go, "What are you going to talk about?" And I kind of looked at you and I went, "You?" And you were like, "Yeah, but what?" I go, well, just talk about how you ended up at Wayne State and what this senior year's been like for you and everything. And it was like there's some guys that will give you what you need. You weren't there yet.
I wasn't there yet.
You weren't there
I
yet.
wasn't there yet. So I'm gonna tell you, the first interview I did in college was my first time ever doing an interview.
Okay.
Right. And so I think it was going into my sophomore year, and I played that interview back. And I said, Joy, do you have a college degree? Joy, do you have a college degree, Joy? Are you not in college right now? Well, it sounds like you're talking to your homeboys back in the hood. So it was eye-opening for me, and I said, wow, that will never happen again. And so I started to kind of look in the mirror and start to practice a little bit more. But I used to hate, I still do it. I don't like to listen to myself. When we do these episodes, I'll go back and I'll listen to watch certain clips, but I won't watch the whole thing. It's just, I don't know.
Yeah, dude, trust me. It's Scott said air checking yourself is vital for broadcasters.
Yeah.
If you don't know how you come off to others, you're not doing anyone any favors. I did it early on, and you get better from it. But then you kind of get to a point where you're like, all right, I like my delivery. I'm telling you right now, I still should do it, but I don't. I don't, because a lot of times, like, I think one of the cool things between you and I is the conversational part of it. We can get to business, right? But I don't want to watch it and change that, because it's like I want it to be you and me having conversation with the people on Facebook and Twitter and YouTube, and having a conversation with the trash can. You know what I mean? And I'm afraid if I watch it, then I'm going to go, all right, I have to be the buttoned up guy and go, well, good afternoon, everybody. And I don't,
Yeah, that's not you.
No,
that's
it's never been me. It's never. That's why, like, when I did TV, it wasn't comfortable for me. It's not me. Okay. I got to move my hands and be an idiot, you know?
Art, when did you get in media? What made you get in media?
When did I get into media? I went to Specs Howard.
Oh, that's enough.
So,
hey, real quick.
Wow.
Real quick, Sean.
Yeah.
Did you just hear what just happened? Did you just see?
I did not.
You
did
missed
not.
something.
How dare you?
Can we rewind? Is there any way we can rewind live?
Hey, can we get a clear shot of Art real quick?
No.
Hey, can
You're
you get this
the worst. You really are the worst.
Here it comes.
You're taking a. Oh,
You got
I thought we were cool. I thought we were.
Right, there you go.
You got to move over if you want it to be in the frame. I can produce that.
No, I don't got to be in the frame. Here we go.
Oh, that is great. You know what? One thing that we do need to talk about. We're going to take a break a second, but when we come back, I do want to talk about 2020. One thing that Joyke and I were talking about before we went on the air, we lost a legend in the sporting world in 2020. In Kobe Bryant, and that's almost a year ago, man. With everything that's happened this year, that feels like 15 years ago. Like that Sunday morning I still remember where I was. I was on my way to church, and one of my boyhood friends texted me. He goes, "Dude, the Mamba," and I go, "What about him?" He's like, "You didn't hear?" "No, what?" "Dude, he died in a plane crash." And I'm going, "Huh?"
You know what?
Huh?
I remember where I was in a car heading back from Benton Harbor back to Detroit. My son texted me, "Dad, Kobe died." I said, "Where did you read that?"
Right.
He said, "Oh, I saw it on the internet." I said, "Stop believing everything you hear on the internet, son. Stop it." You know, I'm cutting. Like, stop. Turn your phone off. It's lies. Like, stop believing everything you see. And so I'm going through my Instagram, and I see Kobe died. So I started researching. I had to, "Sorry, son, you were right. I apologize." And it was just
Unbelievable.
It was surreal, man. I couldn't believe it, man.
Unbelievable. It really, that was, and you know what? That was one that, for whatever reason, maybe it's because he had moved on and girl dad, and he was having success post-career, and he was doing some good things. Boy, that seemed to hit everybody hard. But we're going to talk about 2020 in review. I mean, that's one thing that, really stuck out. Talk about the teams that won the championships. Maybe some seasons that didn't get played as well. Before we do that, I want to remind you that you can upgrade your life today by subscribing to SirsReserve.com. Sirs Reserve will deliver new, novel, and practical items monthly. These may be items you might not ordinarily purchase, but will certainly enjoy. Sirs Reserve is for the adventurous, discerning gent, the man about town, the backyard warrior, and, yes, the ordinary Joe. Boxes cost just $29 a month and are delivered monthly with goods that are traditionally worth more than $70. Upgrade your life today, sir. You deserve it. When we come back, 2020 in review, what were some great moments for you? I'm going to try to keep it on the positive and talk about the teams that won championships, et cetera, et cetera. Not a lot of positives out about our local team, but we'll get into it anyway. Baligian and Bell with you on a Wednesday.
Welcome to Grow Green, the green standard for garden supplies here in Michigan over the past 10 years. We offer the best gardening and lawn care products and have an extremely knowledgeable staff to help you create your dream garden or make your yard the envy of the neighborhood. Shop the store located in Whitmore Lake or online at growgreenmi.com. Delivery and curbside pickup available. Grow Green, making Michigan greener one grower at a time.
We wake up every day with a choice. Keep going down the same unfulfilling path or start chasing the life we dream about. At Northwestern Tech, we want to make that choice easier. by allowing you to keep working your job while training for a real career in heating and cooling. And our hands-on program is only 10.5 months. So getting in the field and building a career and actually waking up with a purpose could be a lot easier than you think. Northwestern Tech, the HVAC school that works.
What up, Doe Wednesday? Glad you could join us. He's Joik Bell. I'm Sean Baligian. 2020 has been just a brutal year, let's be honest. And, it's funny, it hasn't been brutal for everybody. We had some people comment yesterday and say, hey, 2020 was a good year for me. I'm glad to hear that. But with this COVID thing, with the lockdowns, with all the bickering back and forth between human beings, I don't know about you. I kind of got to the point by November, I kind of checked out on that stuff. I was sick of having political discussions and COVID discussions, et cetera, and it was one of those things, man, I'm glad that 2020 is going to be in the rear view mirror very quickly. We were talking about Kobe passing. It was January 26, 2020, which, with everything that's gone on in 2020, seems like 15 years ago. Joik, I got a question for you. Why do you think Kobe's passing seemed to affect everybody the way that it did? It wasn't just sports fans. It really wasn't. It just seemed like the outpouring of emotion towards Kobe. Because I've got some theories, but I'm intrigued to hear from you why that really seemed to affect people.
I think it really seemed to affect people because of what he brought to the game, the way that he changed the game, the tenacity and the competitive nature of which he played the game, how it affected people. Living in another country, going to high school there, building a fan base there, it's Kobe. So to win championships winning championships, the communities service he was doing in the communities, being a positive role model to his children, the things that he brought to the city of Los Angeles. The list goes on. So I think he built and grew that respect just around internationally and not just domestic. And so I think that's why it affected so many people because it was so sudden. We didn't have time to prepare for it. And those are the ones that really hit home the hardest.
It was, and the fact that he was with his daughter, Gigi. Yeah. And, I had never heard the term girl dad before. Maybe it was out there before. I don't know.
I had never heard it before.
I had never heard it before. And it was interesting because, and you and I have talked about this, there is no disrespect to my son. I love you with every fiber of my being. But there's something different with your daughter. I don't care what anybody says. And it's not that you love her more. No. It's just a different type of thing.
It's that type of love to where with your son, you feel like you have to raise him to be a protector. And then with your daughter, you always feel like her protector.
Amen.
And that's kind of what it is. And it's kind of what it is. And so, I'm the same way with my son. I'm the same way with my daughter. But I have to realize sometimes that I have to kind of teach my daughter the same things I'm teaching my son as well. Sure. If not, be harder, and kind of be more, not harder, but be more, I guess, not persuasive, just not demanding. I want to make sure I say the right word because wording is the most important thing here.
Yeah.
Wording is very important.
Spielman.
Yeah, seriously. So I just want to make sure that I'm teaching her the same things at the same capacity, if not more, to make sure she's prepared because, it's being a girl in this or a woman in this society nowadays, sometimes it just isn't fair. So you have to work your way around it. And so it's tough, man. That's what he was showing his daughter. Gigi was taking the basketball, and she was very good at it as well. And so my condolences to him and his family. To all parties involved, all families involved with that plane crash, because it was more than just the Kobe family who lost someone. So it was tough. That's tough, man. All around, that's tough. Unfortunate, very unfortunate.
Josh said one of the best is not yours. You hate on the best. Kobe wasn't ours, so we hated on him, but we respected the hell out of him. That's why it hit so hard. Jenna said, I was blessed to have my dad for 28 years of my life, but I've also been blessed to have my stepdad in my life for 25 years as well. And it's difficult. There's no doubt about it. I think you said that very well, partner. It's difficult for females today. There's no question about that. And it is one of those things that to watch him be the doting father that he was, and the love that he showered on his kids, whether he meant it or not, you know what it did? It personalized him. He went from being Kobe, the Mamba, the assassin, whatever you want to call him, to just Kobe the dad. You know, and this is what he's doing. And he's taken his daughter, much like many of us do on a Sunday morning. We might not fly via a copter, but he's taken his daughter to practice. He's taken his daughter to the play, whatever the case may be. And to go like that, it just, I don't know what it was. I mean, honestly, it just took your heart and just kind of took it outside your body.
Took it outside.
And the way that people reacted was incredible.
And people can relate to him, and that's why.
That's exactly it.
And that's what it is. When people can relate to you, when they can take a liking to you, it becomes an emotional attachment. And then when something like this happened, it really hits home.
Yeah.
And so he was emotionally attached to people, not just domestically but internationally.
Yep.
And so that's probably why it hit so hard.
Yeah, it was amazing. One of the things that Kennedy brought up, pay for women, the path to agreement between U.S. Soccer and the women's national team over equity in pay and working conditions. The women filed that lawsuit back in March and then went out and brought back a 4th World Cup. Kennedy, I will echo something, and I'm serious. Anybody that knows me knows I've said this. I got a chance to do the World Championship for women in hockey a couple of years ago. It's one of the coolest tournaments I've ever seen. Canada and the U.S. playing for the gold medal was unbelievable. The electricity in the barn was incredible. The United States won in overtime. But you might remember the women said right before the tournament start, we're going on strike unless you do something about pay. And it was a stare-down contest that the women won. And that's absolutely, come on. It's about time, isn't it? It's 2021. Let's find a way to equal things out as best we can.
Yeah.
You know?
And I think you take a look at what the team is bringing in a year through TV contracts, merchandise, and I think like the players should get a cut of it. They have to take a look at that to where it's fair for both the player and the owners. So they have to sit down and have these conversations. So with their CBA, like how would that work for them? Like, do they do it like every 10 years? Like, how's their CBA?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure what the legalese is. You know what? To me, it's like, all right, let's start getting there, one step at a time.
Can you see what that is, Art?
Yeah, see if we can find some information.
Yeah.
You know what I want to do? I want to fast forward a little bit. Where were you when you realized life as we knew it was coming to a stop with COVID? Because I'll tell you exactly what I was doing. All right, so the night before I was sitting at home, and if you remember, they started canceling games. You know, you had a situation where a player had COVID, and they shut her down, and then some other games started to shut down. And I remember naively thinking to myself, all right, this is going to be an overreaction. Everybody take a deep breath. Things are going to happen. And the next day, it was a Thursday. And one by one, things started to shut down. One by one. And I'm not joking. I was sitting at my kitchen table in a suit, getting ready to go do the hockey semifinals, 3 miles down the road. I do the broadcasts on television. I'm in my suit. The game's about an hour and a half away from starting, and I got a phone call from somebody from the MHSAA that said, shutting it down. I go, are you shutting it down or are you postponing it? He was like, postponing it. Well, little did we know, it wasn't a postponement. It was indeed a shutdown. But I remember
March
sitting
what? March 8th? Was it March 8th?
I forget what, but I remember vividly sitting at my kitchen table going, this isn't good. Yeah. I mean, little did we know what it would come, but for me, that was my moment, because I don't like to get dressed up in the monkey suit, okay? I'm sitting at my kitchen table in my suit just going, damn, this isn't good.
I think I remember in January when the outbreaks, because the first case was found in December?
Now they're saying it might have been even earlier than that.
Right, it had to be earlier than
November.
Because I remember the doctor who discovered it tried to warn the government like this, we need to get a handle on this right now because it's going to kill a lot of people. But they didn't listen. Then he ended up dying from it. He was like 34. He was a young guy too. And I remember someone from the government doing a press conference saying that it's not a matter of if we get it or not. It's a matter of when we get it, because it's coming here to the U.S. And when I saw that, I think the first case, I saw it in Cali. Now I started to go from each state. And then for a minute, Michigan was clear. I like, look, Michigan's like one of the only states that doesn't have it. And now we're one of the highest, one of the highest states with it. And so, not funny, but I thought we were, I didn't know how it would affect us. But when they shut everything down, I was already working from home. Like, I was already working from home. If it wasn't me working on my cannabis business or looking at different properties, driving around looking at properties, I didn't really have too much interaction with people. And so I was clear. I was clear. So I didn't know, I had never been part of a social distancing. I'd never been part of a lockdown before. I didn't know what to expect. But it was almost as if I realized how lame my life was, because I was just going about doing everything I was doing already.
Right.
Right. I said, man, Detroit, you got to get out and start living life a little bit more. But yeah, I think I was at home in my office when I found out.
Scott said, I was at work in the beginning of February. They called my entire department into a meeting and told us to take everything we needed to work from home and don't come back until they tell us. Jenna said, I'm bitter. It took my Dublin, Ireland, St. Patrick's Week trip from me. Then end of March, I was sent home for 3 months. It's funny, I was 1 day away from heading down to, we could have a conversation one day.
Yeah.
Places that you've never been to that you want to go to, right? And I've been blessed, I've been able to travel all over, but I had never been down to the Florida Keys. I'd never been all the way down to the Keys. And we were 1 day away from flying into Miami and then spending a week in the Keys. And we were going to stop at a couple different places. And
I haven't been to the Keys either.
Out the door.
I haven't been to the Keys either.
You've never been down there? Yeah.
I have been to Dublin, Ireland.
Yeah, I've been to Dublin as well.
But you know what though? I was only there for not even a day.
In Dublin?
I was in Dublin. So you remember how we played the London game?
Yeah.
Once a year. And so the second time we went, I went probably that summer as like an ambassador for the Lions in the NFL. And so we were doing a lot of stuff with the inner city kids. And so they're kind of, I guess, low income areas, like actually like downtown, sort of kind of. And so we were dealing with like a lot of kids doing the 707. And so it was one of the best experiences I've ever had with coaching kids. When I tell you that I would sit these kids down, and we actually ended up winning the whole tournament. But after we won about 2 games, they were doing drills. The coaches had some of the teams doing drills. I said, no. My kid's not doing that. We got to rest our legs. We just won 2-3 games. Y'all take y'all kids over. Come have a seat.
Yeah.
You know, when you win, you can do this right here. So we sit down, we're talking. I'm talking about team camaraderie. Like, guys, you guys are family now. We need to stick together. I want you guys to have fun here. Like, we're no longer just students. We're no longer just teammates. We're family now. And as I'm saying that, I'm looking at the kids, and they're looking up, and they're just all smiles and big eyes. And I'm just like, they're really taking to it. And so I said, listen, now we win the championship game. I promise you guys one thing. I'm gonna bring all you guys to my London game. I'm gonna get all you guys tickets and your families. And they were like, we ended up winning it all.
Oh,
right?
That's brilliant.
Yeah, we won it all. I think this was like around June or July.
Yeah.
Fast forward, we go there, we play there, I think in October. It was my first game back from after my surgery. I had to sit out for a few games, so I came back. So that might have been my first or second game back. And when I go there, I hadn't seen the kids in about 3 or 4 months. And when I tell you after the game, they wouldn't let them on the field, so I ran over to where they were sitting. They all were there with the biggest smiles on their face. They gave me a big hug. They all followed me. I followed them all back, and they still keep in touch with me to this day.
That's awesome.
I loved it. But when I was there, I had to take a trip to Dublin, Ireland I went that morning, stayed there the whole day, and they flew me back that night back to London. But it was beautiful.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
It was beautiful.
It's everything You know, the thing that blows my mind, and
Yeah.
I have family from Waterford, how poor it is. It really, it's a very, you get outside of Dublin, and I mean, it looks like the 13th century in a lot of places. It really does.
I didn't go.
It's-
I couldn't.
Dude, it was amazing. It was a great trip. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah.
Now, you know what's interesting is, and I'll get back to, you know, a couple of the football championships that were won. I'll tell you how strange it was for us, and I think a lot of people can relate to this. My sons at DePaul in Chicago, they say they're going to shut down, right? Mm-hmm. So we're all thinking at the time, I don't know about you, call me an idiot. I thought a couple weeks. Like, honestly, I thought a couple weeks. So my son goes, hey, so I guess I'm going to be at home for a few weeks. So, you know, is it cool if I jump in the car and come home? And I was like, of course it's cool if you come home. What a dumb question that is. Little did we know that a couple weeks would turn into 4 months. I mean, that's literally what happened. So you got to remember, he came home, drove all the way from Chicago with about 2 weeks worth of clothes. You know what I mean? Everything was left there. He told me he just went grocery shopping, so all that food in the refrigerator went really bad and all that. I mean, that's what a lot of people had to endure, things like that. So, you know, the good news for me was my boy was home. The bad news for him was my boy was home. You know, he ended up staying home 6 months. I mean, literally, it was 6 months before he went back to Chicago. It was a crazy thing.
So when he went back, was any food still good?
No, he threw. You know when he went back? It's funny you say that. He went back to move out. His lease was up, and he lives like literally. And when I say this, I'm not joking. A block away from Wrigley Field now. So basically, he went back there to clean out all his stuff and to move to the new place. So I mean, that's how. I mean, it was that kind of screwed up year, and something that we all went through. And I don't know if you had this problem or maybe some other people out there.
No.
As parents, we always want to tell our kids, we've seen this before. We've seen that before. We've dealt with this before. I told my kids point blank, I got nothing. I got nothing. I've never been down this road before. Don't come to me for pearls of wisdom. I don't know about pandemics. I don't know about masks. You know, let's fire up the smoker and have a barbecue. But Dad, what about I got nothing. I wasn't around in 1919. Sorry. I don't know about
funny.
the influenza
Something like
epidemic.
that happened with my son. He called me and told me something happened. And I said, that's tough, son. That's real tough.
Right?
And I left it.
That's all you can do.
I said, and so we talked probably 6 months later about it. And actually, no, it might have been this year we talked again about it. And I said, Jordan, you remember when you told me that? You remember that? He said, yeah. He said, yeah, I remember it. You just told me that's tough, son. You gave me nothing. Right? You gave me nothing.
Yeah.
I said, I wanted you to learn from on your own. Like something I just can't teach you. Yeah. Something you just have to go through and figure out yourself. And as a parent, we have to find that balance of, okay, I'm gonna help you here, but sometimes I'm gonna let my son fall a couple of times, let him figure it out, because in a world like this, you have to figure that out sometimes. You have to figure it out, but I'm gonna be there to help you if you really, but you know, you can decipher that on your own, you know. Yeah.
Ambi Danielle Bell said, I still got nothing. I'm with you.
What up, sis?
I don't.
Yeah.
Nothing. I mean, and you know what? Now my kids get it because they've been through it. And I told them, I said, my generation, we never went through it. I never was at home for prolonged periods of time. I was never told, don't go play with your friends. I was never told to don't go over to Joike's house because you don't want to be close to Grammy Whammy.
Yeah.
That's what I told him. I said, we're all walking down this road together, so I got nothing for you.
I told my mom when I was 18, I said, Mom, I'm leaving. I'm never moving back home. Ever. Never. Even though I love living with, I love my mom. I love staying there, but it was so strict. It was so strict. I didn't go to one party.
No kidding.
I went to prom. She wouldn't let me go to no parties. I said, Mom, I can't do it. I'm going to college. And people don't know this. I went to college and I was partying so much my freshman year, I almost got kicked out of school because of my grades.
I never knew that.
Yeah, my first semester.
Really?
First semester. And I don't know if you guys ever seen the movie How High. Have you guys seen that movie? You ever seen How High?
Yeah.
Have you seen How High? All right, so How High is a movie with Method Man and Redman. And so they end up smoking weed, and they got high scores on their SAT test. They end up getting to Harvard on a full ride scholarship. Well, when they get to school, or they keep the scholarship, I think Redman got on the rowing team. What they call the row team? The row?
Row.
The crew. They call it the crew.
Yeah.
Got on the crew, and in the middle of the competition, he's like smoking weed while the rest of the team is rowing, and so he's kind of rowing, just kind of real lazy while he's smoking, and all of a sudden he sees like this big picture of his mom in the sky. Said, "Oh, you just want to be in school smoking weed? Well, I guess you're just gonna have to come back home and live with me." And he said, "Oh, hell no!" He started all I thought about was going back home and living with my mom. I got my grades back up. I said, they'll never drop again. All I needed was that one letter from the school.
Your sister chimed in. I can definitely relate.
Love my mom to death, though. I love her.
You know what's funny? I hope my son isn't pissed at me for saying this if you're watching, Jack. It's tough, as you well know, when he was at the time 20 years old and you come back home and you're used to kind of living life the way you want and everything. And then all of a sudden you come back home and you got the family structure and mom and dad are going to bed at 11, your sister's going to bed at 9:30, and you can't go out and live life. And all his friends are here and you can't go out. And he kind of went through this period where he was pissed, like you were talking about. And it was funny, I had a father-son discussion with him that he brought up last week, which was pretty cool. And I said to him, I go, you're 20 years old now, so I'm not going to yell at you. I'm not going to shit on you. I'm not going to threaten you with a grounding. I said, this next period of however long it is can be one of two things. You can be miserable, you can be pissed off, and you can make everybody else in the house miserable, or we can just all get through this together and just learn, all of us, to overlook some little things that normally would annoy you. I said, that's your choice. I said, you're old enough now. I'm not gonna threaten you with a grounding. I'm not gonna say your car is taken away. Like, you're 20 now. I said, so I hope you choose wisely. And it was great. He told me last week, he was like, Dad, that's the best speech you ever gave. I was like, thank you. I appreciate it. But it was really one of those things because you know how it is, that friction starts to build in the house. Yeah. And like you can feel it. It's not toxic yet, but it's the temperature's going up. So that's why, just matter of factly, I said, this is what we choose to make it. Yeah. You know, and I said, if you start, I know I'm going to start. And then all of a sudden we got a thing going on. And then your sister's upset because she's always the one that tries to make peace. And then mom's going to start bickering with that. And I said, so let's make the decision. This is what we make it. What a blessing. We had so much fun. Like, I'm not joking. For 6 months, it just turned out cool. It sucked, but we made it a positive.
Made it.
Yeah. Like everybody did.
Good.
So you love your family, but let's be honest, right?
Yeah.
You
need that break.
Be around them 24/7.
You need a break.
You need a little break.
Yeah.
I get that. So I want to go back. National champion in college football. That seems like 50 years ago. Joe Burrow and LSU. They were awesome. That was an awesome.
It was.
It was an awesome team.
He had an awesome year that year.
Yeah, and Coach O getting her done. Super Bowl, Kansas City Chiefs. I think everybody's kind of pulling for Andy Reid a little bit. Kind of seems like the everyday guy and everything.
Yeah, I love Andy Reid. I watched a clip of Shannon Sharp talking about Dwayne Haskins.
Yeah.
And about how him getting cut from the team, he said he heard stories about his study habits. About when you're in practice, the coach will look over and say, hey, what you got right here on this play? All right? And if you didn't know the answer, that's kind of a glimpse of how they look at you on how you look at your job, right? If you can go to practice and see something going on the football field, for you to not know the play, and you have the potential of being out there on that play, and you're not taking it serious, it reflects on you. And so you get into a game and you're not producing, you're not having any production. They're gonna weigh that into the decision of letting you go, right? And so when he said that, and you said Andy Reid, I remember my rookie year, I'll be with the team, but I will be totally zoomed into practice. I'm zoomed in. I'm locked in. I would see my other teammates probably over there talking, joking, laughing, but they made it already. I'm locked in. And I'm kind of by myself, but I make sure I get every play from like a coach that's nearby. Like, what's this play right here? What's this play? And so whenever I'm by myself, and Reed would kind of like slowly make his way over towards like where I'm at. I might be right here and he's like where you are. And right before the ball is snapped, he'll say, "Hey Bill, what you got right here? What you got? What you got?" And so I tell him to play. Like, I'll have it, but he doesn't think I have it because I'm literally by myself watching the play. Because I'm not taking any reps with the first team or second team. I'm on practice squad. Yeah. So I'm only doing the practice squad plays. So when they're over there playing, I don't distract them, but I'm right there and I'm watching the play every time.
What did he call you, by the way?
Bell.
Just Bell?
Bell.
That's
great. Yeah, he'll call me Bell.
Kind of like Saban. There's a joke there, but go ahead.
Yeah, Bell. And so he did that to me twice. And it was like weeks apart. So I don't know what's coming. But I always stay ready, right? I always stay ready. And when you're a player in the NFL, you have to be that way, right? You have to be that way. And so it's just that, and I think Andy Reid's a great coach. I think I'm happy that everything is working out in his favor out there in Kansas. And I wish him the best. I like him.
Yeah.
I like him. That's why
that's a likable team. And yeah. I know there are some people that are already kind of sick of the Patrick Mahomes love. I love Patrick Mahomes.
Who's sick of it?
I can tell you, some of my buddies are like, enough of the Mahomes. Stafford makes passes like that. This guy makes passes like that. Patrick Mahomes is a special, special quarterback, man. He is a special quarterback. And I love watching them play. Now, it was weird watching them this past Sunday because it wasn't that prolific thing going on and everything. But it's almost like, okay, even in a game like that, he's going to find a way to make that play. He's going to hit somebody, and the next thing you know, it's like they kind of look like crap for 58 minutes, but just went right down the field and got that touchdown.
I'm going to ask you this, and this is a random question.
All right.
Art, who do you have? If this was a showdown, who would you have? Kansas City Chiefs versus the Green Bay Packers. Who do you have right now? Who do you have winning that game?
I would have to go with the Chiefs just because Mahomes was my fantasy pick. So that's the only thing that I got.
The only thing you have?
Yeah, but I got Mahomes. I think he's the younger player, too. I mean, you have to go with experience, of course, with, Green Bay and Aaron Rodgers, but you've got young guns coming in, and eventually that washes out the veterans out, I would think.
Eventually. I don't think that time is yet. I think you put them in the showdown. I think it comes a coach's game because you have all the weapons you need. Only way they can lose that game is through bad play calling. I don't think Patrick Mahomes is going to make any minimum mistakes at quarterback. I don't think Aaron Rodgers is going to make any mistakes at quarterback. I think it's going to be a defensive game, and the coach is putting the players in position to win. I have to go with Green Bay if the Chiefs. You know what? I'm not going to say that. I think it's going to be a good game. And I have Chiefs for my number one. But I think that if they get in that showdown, I don't see Aaron Rodgers losing. The same way.
Super Bowl I rematch, if we have it. The first Super Bowl was Green Bay and Kansas City. That would be pretty cool to have a Super Bowl.
And mark my words, it'll be one for the history books.
Well, somebody agrees Rodgers would cut them up. That comes from Steve.
Because their defense is not that good.
Oh, it's suspect.
Yeah, it's not that.
And Green Bay's defense has really picked it up in the last month. They really have. There's a point to that.
You look at what they did to the Titans, the number one scoring offense.
Weapons that Mahomes has, to me, it's almost like we forget about all of them. Because it's like 1 second you're talking about Le'Veon, the next second you're talking about, one of the... Travis Kelce's sick. You don't like Travis?
Yeah, I like Travis.
Oh, okay, yeah, you gave me a look.
I gave you you said he's sick. He is sick.
Yeah, okay.
I like Travis.
Seriously.
Hey, relax. Hey, calm down, Sean. Relax. They're number one on my list, my top 5. They're there. Yeah. So I like Travis Kelce. I like all those guys. They have a track team there. They literally have a track team there.
Yeah, it's insane.
They remind me of the NL version of the 2009 Clemson.
Yeah. Or when you were a little kid, remember that Rams team? You would have been little.
With Marshall Falk?
With Marshall Falk,
Terry
Torrey
Holt,
Torrey
yeah.
Holt, Isaac Bruce.
Bruce.
They were the greatest show on turf.
Oh, yeah, the greatest. When they lost to the Rams.
They lost to the Patriots in the Super Bowl.
No, not the Rams. They lost to, was it the Patriots? When he got tackled at the 1 yard line?
That was when they beat Tennessee.
Was that Tennessee?
Won that Super Bowl. Yeah,
No,
Tennessee.
It was. So Tennessee
Tyson got tackled at the one.
Tyson got tackled at the 1. I was about 5 I wasn't 5. I had to be about 8 or 9.
That was 2000. So you would have been what?
No, I was like 13.
Yeah, 13, 14. Yeah.
13.
I mean, it was
young. I barely remember that, bro. I barely I remember it because it was that much from them winning the game. The Titans. I remember that.
Well, remember Dick Vermeil had left the NFL for like 15 years and came back, and he won the Super Bowl. I mean, it was unheard of back then. I mean, Dick Vermeil was the head coach, and he had quit Philly in like 1981, and then he got talked back into the coaching game, and it had been like 15, 16 years, and dude won a Super Bowl. I mean, it was insane, that a guy does that at that level. Couple questions.
Somebody says Kansas City versus New Orleans, my Super Bowl matchup. I don't think New Orleans can get past Green Bay.
I'm with you.
I don't think so.
Especially
if they have home field advantage.
If it goes to Lambeau.
If it goes to Lambeau, they don't have a shot. They don't have a shot.
Yep.
They don't have a shot.
Scott said, I like Mahomes, the player, but how can anyone respect anyone who puts ketchup on a steak?
Do he puts it on it or do he dip it?
He loves ketchup. He loves it. He puts ketchup on it. I mean, it's crazy.
You know what, though?
Ask P-Dubs about ketchup on a steak. He's got a good story for you, by the way.
I didn't learn about not putting anything on your steak until after I got in the NFL. I didn't know that was like disrespectful to the chef. I didn't know that. Because I would always put I never used A1 sauce. I never liked it. Mm-hmm. But like Worcestershire, am I saying it correctly? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. What did you say?
I think it's Worcestershire, isn't it?
Yeah, whatever it is. I used to use that. And then when I saw going to different, they'll have like some type of steak butter you can put on it. Mm-hmm. I'm like, oh, okay, this is nice. And they had like different types of steak butter you can use. But I didn't know that. But ketchup on the steak though, huh? You put ketchup on your eggs in the morning, your scrambled eggs?
I have. But given my druthers, you just give me a ton of pepper. I'll pepper that baby up. You can't give me enough pepper in my eggs.
I never heard anyone say, hold up, that's too much pepper.
Right?
Never heard it.
I'm with you.
Never heard it. Never heard it.
Like I tell the
too
dude,
much salt. Never too much pepper.
You know when you go to the fancy restaurant and the dude comes with the pepper shake, I'm gonna be like, bro, you're gonna be busy.
You're gonna be busy.
You're gonna be busy. I'm gonna make you. And he sits there and he looks at me.
Is it that one or is it?
Yeah, it's that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's that. It's that one. It's that one. Let's see. Bigger bust, Jamarcus Russell, Ryan Leaf, or Dwayne Haskins? Jamarcus.
Kennedy, I'm a hot sauce gal. You could have just said that up here, but I appreciate it.
Jamarcus ate himself out of the league. So, I mean, any guy...
You said who?
Jamarcus Russell, Ryan Leaf, or Dwayne Jamarcus. I mean, the guy ate himself out of the league. Yep. I mean, it's crazy.
Who's that?
As a quarterback, how do you eat yourself out of the league?
What college did he go to again?
LSU.
Who was that quarterback, that big quarterback that went to Grambling that was really good? And he was really big. It was a while back. Grambling had a quarterback that they had the opportunity to get drafted. I don't know if he got drafted.
Well, do you remember Lorenzen out of Kentucky, the hefty lefty? He was a monster. I mean, he just passed away not too long ago. But he was another guy. Like he went to the NFL and like they told him, like try to get down to 275 pounds, and he like went up to like 315. I mean, he was huge. I mean, there's no other way to say it.
We had a guy like that. So I remember when Big Baby.
Yeah.
When Big Baby was with the Lions, it was funny. So when you're in the NFL, you get fined for being overweight, right? I think when when I was with the Lions. I think it might have been 500 pounds for every pound you're overweight. So we had this guy.
$500 for every?
Yeah, for every pound you are overweight. And so we had this guy that was getting fined anywhere between $3,000 to $6,000 every single week. So you do, you add that up for 16, 17 weeks, then I'll say 16 weeks because we don't do anything during the bye week. So you add that up for 16 weeks, that's over $100,000.
Holy crap.
You know, so that you're paying just to fulfill your appetite. I couldn't pay $100,000 a year just on top of.
No way.
Nah. So he went into the locker room. He said, "There's two things I can't give up. It's my money. No, it's three. No. It was food, and it was one of the things he said. So I can't say that on here.
All right.
But it has something to do with intimacy. So it's two things I can't give up. And he said that. And so every week he'll come in with a check, come in with cash, and just give it to the team.
No kidding.
Yep. Either that, they just take it out of check. So
just accepted it. Here you go.
That's what it is.
Wow, that's unbelievable.
I couldn't do it. Just take this money. I already got to pay taxes and got to pay fines to the team. Like, no way. Nah, you're not taking my money.
Didn't the late Steve McNair kind of battle his food too? I think Steve is as athletic as he was. Steve liked to eat. I remember stories about him coming out of Alcorn before he went to Tennessee, and as you know, so many people are mentioning Jared Lorenzen. I mean,
somebody said Nick Fairley.
he was a monster. I mean, he was, and it's funny because like he realized later in life. I mean, there's a difference between liking food. He had a problem. I mean, and he got so big, and by the time he said, "I got to get this problem under control," it had damaged his body so much he passed away. I mean, it's sad when you think about it. It's obviously there were other issues going on there and everything. But
who are we talking about from the Titans?
Well, Jared Lorenzen. Jared Lorenzen was the guy from Kentucky.
Okay.
But McNair from the Titans was shot.
Yeah, he was shot.
That was just a terrible
That's
story.
terrible. Toxic relationship.
Somebody said Haskins still has a chance. I think he does.
He does. He's still young. Another team will pick him up. He'll learn from this. Right? I'm glad. He should be happy this happened early on in his career because he still has time to recover. So he just needs to be more aware of who he has around him, and the people that are around him need to be aware of who he is and the things that they can do to damage his career or damage him or his public image. Now, him being cut might not have anything to do with him going to the strip club, because I'm gonna be honest with you. If that was I'm gonna say in his prime when we were playing together, if that was Calvin Johnson that happened, they're not about to cut Calvin over that. But you say you got a practice squad player in there, he's out of here.
Yep.
It's like the better you play, the more plays and the more production you make on the football field, the more they'll tolerate the things you do off the field. Now, at the same time, you don't want to build your image to where you become a problem off the field. So when you're done with the team, they don't want to have anything to do with you because they dealt with you while you were playing, right? So you don't want to burn bridges. So you just always want to have that thought in the back of your head of, when I'm done playing, what do I want to be remembered as, right? And for players who do well after, they either catch on to that, either towards the tail end, or they figure it out early and they don't have to go through any of those issues. So I wish them the best. Learn from it, move forward, and continue to get better.
Joy, what people don't understand is the distractions that are front and center in your face. And you're a young man, and maybe for the first time, I don't know Dwayne Haskins' background,
not at all.
But I'm going to say this. For the first time in your life, you have money that you just never had, okay? Unless you come from a really rich family, which most of these guys don't. You have money you never had, you have exposure you never had, and you have temptations around every corner. Yeah. I mean, here I am trying to describe it. I'm trying to lay it up for you to tell everybody what that life is like. People don't know what that life is like, man.
Let me ask you a question. I see a comment in here. I'm gonna ask you a question because I don't have the answer to this.
All right.
It said never draft an OSU QB, they don't do well in the pros. Is that true?
I cannot think of an Ohio State quarterback that did well. Not one.
Think. The closest person I can think who did the best was probably Terrell Pryor. And
As a receiver.
As a receiver.
You got it. You got it.
I can't think of any.
No, I mean, I go all the way back to.
And I never thought about that. That's a good
Art
question.
Schleicher was can't miss, who missed, and obviously he had some personal demons. Yeah, I mean, you're talking about generations of OSU quarterbacks that just haven't done anything.
Then you look at MSU. I mean, you look at Michigan quarterbacks, and we get 5 Super Bowl rings. So.
Somebody said Sean Haskins went to OSU. He had money all through college. Ooh, well played. No, but talk about that, Joe, because people don't understand the life and how easy it is to fall between the cracks.
I'm gonna tell you right now that if you want to do something like that, right? If you want to go out, you want to have a good time, you want to go to a strip club, you have the finances, you have the resources to say, you know what? Let's do something private. Let's get security here. Let's rent out a venue. Let's get strippers at a venue, and let's do it here. No cell phones allowed. Let's have a good time and go home. No issues. Like, you have the resources to do that. Have the security there, protection for everyone included there, and go do it. Go do it that way if you want to do it. If you don't have the discipline to stay at home and just follow protocol, you don't risk something like this where you're not being productive. You're not producing, and now you're putting the livelihood of not only you, but your family. You're paying, I'm pretty sure you're paying other people's bills. You're paying probably tuition. You're probably for a loved one. You're probably bought somebody a house. You probably, buying cars, giving friends money. Like, I'm pretty sure you're doing all of those things. So you don't jeopardize that just because you want to go out to the club and have a good time. And mind you, when you're a young guy coming in the NFL, you want to be able to enjoy it, right? You want to be able to enjoy it. Go places you want to go. But when you're in season, just relax. Put all your focus. Keep the main thing the main thing.
That's great.
Keep the main thing the main thing.
Do you think it's a discipline thing, though? Like, you were talking about addictions and, being too fat to play. Do you think it's being addicted to that lifestyle once you receive those, that huge lump sum of money or, your weekly check? Does it get to a point where it's like you have to hold yourself back from going out with the team at night, after a big win because you have to be dedicated for Monday?
It's a good question, because Joik, I like the way that you put it. Like, it at that point in time, for a lot of guys, it isn't about you anymore. It's about taking care of Grammy Whammy. It's about taking care of your mother. It's about taking care of your kids, your sister, whatever the case may be. And I think sometimes I don't think guys are cognizant of that. It's bigger than them at that moment,
It's bigger than them, but when you get drafted high or you have some success, some people take it, they handle it differently, right? So you have people who get that type of success and they don't let it go to their heads, and they know the type of position they're in and what's expected of them. And so I agree. So I agree with what he's saying about a discipline factor, and it is to some extent. You can go out. You're allowed to celebrate with your teammates. You have a 24-hour grace period, right, to kind of enjoy that win, right? Because if you can't enjoy the win, then what's the point of working your butt off to get a win, right? It's kind of like working for a whole year to get that car that you want, that you've been saving up for, and then when that year ends, you have the money to get that car. You say, no, I'm not gonna get that car. Yeah. I'm not gonna get it. You have to give yourself some type of reward for your work. And so if he wants to reward himself by having fun, getting out with this lady and enjoying himself, then do it in a place to where it's private, you have security, you're protected, you won't be in the media, just to add more fuel to the fire.
Right now is kind of the best time to not do those things too, because it's COVID. I mean, you
look at James Harden.
But
that's the point, though.
Hell yeah.
But that's the point, though. If we weren't in the COVID situation, he would be able to go do those things.
Right.
He would be able to go do those things, and nothing would happen. You know what I mean? Nothing will happen. But when you have people taking pictures of you, and you already have issues with the team already feels some way about you. Any anything that you do, right, is going to be magnified. It's like when you win a game and the quarterback throws a pick, but we win the game, or a running back fumbles and gives the ball to the other team. That's a big deal. It's huge, right? But if you win the game, you make it up, you score a touchdown, and you win the game for the team, or you throw a touchdown after you throw a pick. They're not going to harp on that fumble as much. They're not going to harp on that interception as much. But when you lose the game, everything is magnified. That pick is going on the emphasis tape. You should have never fumbled that ball. All this thing, like when this happens, like it gets magnified. And so with Dwayne Haskins, it got magnified.
Yep. And you know what? It's funny. We got a professional athlete that is taking part on Facebook who kind of knows about this in Darren McCarty. Max said during your speech, Joy, preach. He said Paul Coffey used to say, the goon can't handle prosperity. Play and party as a team. It's about accountability. And then he had a threat for Art. I'll be physically in the building at 3. Art, grab your floor hockey stick. So get ready for that.
Wait. Just talking junk to everybody. wait. He's just talking. Because at some point, I think he's just talking just to be talking at this point.
Well, there's a build to it. Like, I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, yeah, Joik, I can't wait for you to beat me on Thursday. Like, for one, it's not going to happen. And for two, it's part of the game. I would, you know what would be like?
You come up here and say that, Art.
Come up where I'm producing the show. How am I supposed to leave the booth?
Oh, he
grabbed the trash can. He's got the trash can. Here we go. Here we go. Listen, when it comes down to it, I think that I'm excited. I'm ready.
Keep going.
And I'll take on D-Mac, too. D-Mac can get it, too. If he wants to do some floor hockey, it would be like an honor to be checked into a wall by Darren McCarty. It's like my bucket list. Bring it, D-Mac. I'll see you at 3. And bring your best pads, too. Be ready, because I'm ready. My mic's off now.
Hey, D-Mac, I got this here for you, too.
Yeah.
D-Mac, I got this right here for you, too.
No, but you know what I love? And it's interesting because,
have a seat, Art.
Darren is awesome because Darren can speak from experience.
Yeah.
Darren's been an open book for people, and he's shared things about him and places where he messed up that he doesn't have to share. But he's basically said to everybody, here I am, warts and all. I'll tell you where I went wrong. And you know what? The most important thing is I got back on the right path. So I've always respected that. He doesn't hide that stuff. He's a guy that knows, look, there were some places that I went the other direction, that I made mistakes. And Darren will be the first. I don't need to tell you that. Darren's the first guy to tell you. And I think, to me, that's awesome because that's recognizing where once was a problem, now I can talk to people and say, hey, don't go down that road, And that's... Dwayne Haskins, I hope to God, because I don't wish bad things on anybody. I don't care who you are in the world. I don't wish bad things on you. I believe in that karma stuff. Yeah. Dwayne Haskins is hopefully a guy that in a couple of years can maybe be that guy, Joy, that can sit back and
You see,
I saw I shouldn't have looked at it.
You should have looked at it.
I was building up to the finish, and I was like, nope, I saw that, and I'm done.
You saw it. Here we go. He said, I'm going to crush your soul, Art. Slow bleed out.
What happened? I was just talking shit.
D-Mac said, I'm going to crush your soul, Art. Slow bleed out.
I'm busy trying to produce a show over here. I don't need this added stress.
He also said he hasn't chirped me. He said he hasn't chirped me, but I got my boy J Bell's back. PCs are faster and through the wall, Art.
It doesn't matter, though. That's part of the game. That's like saying, oh, I have a strong running back, and the other person says, oh, I have a somewhat strong. It doesn't matter. You're all on the same team. That's how it goes.
Not the same. It's not the same. It was like saying I got a running back on steroids, and I have a running back that's doing it the right way.
They haven't been caught yet, so that's the
Yeah, I got a running back on HGH, and I got a running back who just been taking protein shakes. It's the difference, Art.
I have never dealt with someone who is so bitter after a loss. And I mean, listen, I don't want to have to do it to you again, but I'm sorry that my team beat you.
If we look at me and Art's score, he never beat me in the scoring rank. Like, not one game.
We'll find out tomorrow.
Is it a team effort? Okay, so when the team wins, wins, right? When the team wins, it's a team.
You know, if you was on my team, you'd be cut.
I would be cut?
You'll be cut.
Okay,
If
that's
you was
great.
on my team,
Listen,
you'll be cut.
you, D-Mac, anyone else can get it. I'm here all day.
Hey.
I'm going to stay here till 3:30 now just so I can meet up with
I
D-Mac.
want to cut him. You know what I do? You know what? I'll move him down to practice squad because he got potential. I'll move him down to practice squad. I'll give him a couple weeks. Let him learn the playbook. You know, get comfortable in the setting, and then I'll bring him back up eventually. But right now, Art, you're a practice squad player at best.
If you're so confident, you shouldn't have to talk trash. I mean, listen.
And I'm not talking about, I played practice squad, so I'm not saying you're a bad player. I'm just saying you got potential. You need some work.
I don't
can't
need
take
work, though,
constructive
because my
feedback?
team beat
You
you,
can't take
and
constructive
I'll beat
feedback,
you on
Art?
Thursday. I'll beat you on Thursday easily. Tomorrow, 9 to 11 on the Woodward Twitch. I hope Darren McCarty's watching because he's going to switch teams. Sean Baligian's going to ask me to come in on Monday and be part of the show, okay? I'm just making it clear to you right now. You are not going to beat me on Thursday. I had multiple first places yesterday. Did you see that four-banger? When I threw the grenade and then I headshotted the one dude, I mean, I was there for it.
I did the same exact thing last night. I did the exact same thing. That's why I went up.
But you didn't record it, so it doesn't count.
I know it doesn't count because it doesn't matter. When I asked you to go and play me last night,
I don't want to play.
I don't want to go live
My
and stream
3-year-old
it.
son. My 3-year-old son, that's named after me, Arthur the Fifth, by the way. Put some
Is it really? For
legacy
real?
on his name. Yes.
Arthur the Fifth.
He at 3 years old was ready to play you, and I told him, no, we don't want to embarrass him too much. Let me do that Thursday night. Little Arthur, we got to get you a Bubba. It's time for
You need
bed.
to take some lessons from your son. That's what you need to do. You need to take some lessons from him. You know what? And then when we do teams, I'm not even going to go grab my real. I'm going to go grab my son and his friends. No, Kennedy, no. I'm going to say something.
Yeah, but you know what it reminded me of? It reminded me of Rudolph. This is man's work.
Yeah.
That line in Rudolph.
No,
this is man's work. It's
Yeah.
like, that hasn't grown and aged well. No.
Yeah, no. So, because I can't say this is a man's game because literally one of my partners when I play with them is like 2 of them was girls. So, actually a girl taught me how to play Call of Duty. And she's from Chicago, but she kept playing with me until I got better. Like online, she kept playing with me until I got better. And so when I got better, I got to bring you on the show with me. She was like, for real? I'm like, yeah, you coming on the show with me. I have found another 2 people who've been playing with me since I was trash. When I was like Art.
Hey, listen, what size shirt do you wear? Joy, what size shirt do you wear? I need to know so when I order your trash shirt, I
wear extra large, and you wear a woman small? What is that? Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. I think I got a shirt of my daughter that might fit you.
Oh, I told you guys, it like a bunch of 13 and 14-year-old kids stole my soul like McCarty stole Claude Lemieux's soul.
Yeah.
I mean, like, honestly, I'm playing with them, and they all kind of, you could tell somebody had to break the seal, and my son's friend looked at me and goes, Mr. Baligian, you suck. And like, as soon as one kid said it, they all started chirping at me. And there's nothing worse than 4 or 5, 13 or 14-year-old kids chirping at you and knowing I got nothing in return.
Nothing.
And that's a life lesson. At some point in time, you got to go like this.
You got it.
I can fight back. I'm good. I can give the chirp back.
You know what game that is for me?
I was getting my ass kicked, and I was like, "You're right, Mr.
What game
Baligian
was
sucks."
that?
We were playing Call of Duty.
All right, so the game like that for me is 2K. I don't touch it. I've never played a basketball game.
Okay.
2K is just not. It's cool. I can't take a liking to it. I mean, it's cool though. It's a good game. I just don't play it. But people play 2K all the time. I'm a Call of Duty guy. Yeah. Art, they said right here, Art is becoming a diva.
A what?
Total. And then Kenny said, total diva.
Listen, I don't have to worry about how many kills I get. My team is so good that I don't have to worry about kills.
D-Mac said Art wears boys mediums.
What is with this trash? I'm literally living the dream right now. I'm going to be living the dream on Thursday, kicking off the new year, whooping Joy's ass and COD. And yet everyone's coming after me. I'm just performing well. I'm performing well.
Here you go. Josh said, oh, snaps. He didn't say, oh, snaps. He said, oh, snaps. D-Mac is going to make Art turtle.
Poor Art.
I want to say D-Mac, you were one of my favorite players.
Play the same system.
You're the greatest fan.
Play the same system, no question. from D-Mac. Play the same system, no question.
No, but that can't. Okay, so listen, I have so many friends and so many teammates that they're on different consoles. Listen, I'm sorry that your teammates can't afford a PC, but mine can, and that's why they're better.
I don't play on PC. You saying I can't afford a PC?
I can't afford a PC either. That's why I got an Xbox One.
All right, listen, we got to come back. We have in video form, right? Do we have those videos, Kennedy? Moments of the year? Do we have some of those videos for our favorite moments of the year? We got to talk about some favorites of the year. Okay, we're going to try to get that together. We do got a break. We're going to wrap it up again for 2020. We're not going to be here tomorrow or Friday. We will see you again next Monday, but we got one more segment. We're going to finish strong, talk about our favorite particular moments of the year. I'm going to ask the man what he's doing for New Year's Eve because, again, this is a New Year's Eve unlike any other. It's probably not going to be difficult for you to figure out what I'm going to be doing. My smoker is going to be busy. We'll come back, wrap it up on a Wednesday afternoon. It's Joik Bell, Sean Baligian, Baligian and Bell.
We wake up every day with a choice. Keep going down the same unfulfilling path or start chasing the life we dream about. At Northwestern Tech, we want to make that choice easier by allowing you to keep working your job while training for a real career in heating and cooling. And our hands-on program is only 10.5 months. So getting in the field and building a career and actually waking up with a purpose could be a lot easier than you think. Northwestern Tech, the HVAC school that works.
Welcome to Grow Green, the green standard for garden supplies here in Michigan over the past 10 years. We offer the best gardening and lawn care products and have an extremely knowledgeable staff to help you create your dream garden or make your yard the envy of the neighborhood. Shop the store located in Whitmore Lake or online at growgreenmi.com. Delivery and curbside pickup available. Grow Green, making Michigan greener one grower at a time.
All right, welcome back in Baligian and Bell. What up, though?
Wednesdays.
So we're going to go in reverse order. We're going to do our resolutions or what we want to see in 2021. I've never been a resolution guy personally. Like, you know how people, I want to do this, I want to do that. It's like, I don't need January 1 to make me to do something.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's like, if I want to do something, I'm going to just go do it.
Go do it.
I might not do it well, but, that's the way that it goes. We'll talk about our favorite moments in just a moment, but resolutions, things that you want to see in 2021. I'm going to let you go first.
I'm going first?
Yeah. Would you like me to go first?
No, I'll go first.
Okay.
That's fine. I want to see the Lions bring in a GM and a head coach that can work collectively together to bring back a winning culture here to this franchise. That's my New Year's resolution.
I love it.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
That's mine.
What do we need to do? Who do we need to bring in? How can we start the winning process? I'm with it.
That's it for me. That's it for me. They're out there. We have to do a good job collectively as a group. I'm going to say I'm going to say the front office, the top tier people. They have to continue to look at all the options like they've been doing. And they need to hear the philosophy of every coach coming in, what they plan on doing, every GM, and then go from there and bring in the right people around them that can help them make the decision on the people to bring in.
Hire Joik. Hire Joik. Give Joik a role with the team. He can do it. I know he can. He gets this area. He's one of us. Don't tell anybody I said that.
Somebody said J. Bell on the sidelines.
Yes, right?
With the media.
Yeah, or you know what? You can be the cultural attaché. You can be given some people. You know what? Seriously, you can help in this process. All jokes aside, I like that the Lions are reaching out to former Lions that care about the community, that care about this team, that spilled blood for this franchise. I don't think that's a bad idea.
In this city.
Yeah.
I think that ultimately that's kind of what it is. It's not even about just being a fan and being a diehard Lions fan and being a part of the team. I think it's about your love and commitment to the city.
Sure.
Because it's a city, then it's a team, right? And so I think once she grabs the idea of kind of what the city is, the type of attitude, the type of support, like the people that's supporting us are the people who are from Detroit that are in the city, right? And so the team needs to represent the city. And we're a blue collar city. And so that's the type of people we need to have in running our team.
2020, as I look ahead to 2021, my resolution is very simple. 2020 was difficult, but at the end of the day, the Pistons eventually came back, okay? The Red Wings are coming back really soon. The Lions ended up playing. The Tigers ended up playing. And while we all miss going to games, one of my favorite things is going to Tiger games with my son and going to Wrigley Field. One thing did not come back all year. One thing I really missed this year, and it was GLIAC football. I want GLIAC football back. I really, really missed it. I missed going to Tom Adams Field.
Yeah.
I miss going to Marquette, Michigan. I miss going over to, even Allendale and watching Grand Valley play. I missed GLIAC football. And it was interesting because, as I stated, we got everything else back. We did.
Yeah.
Everything eventually came back. Although with hockey, we never saw the Red Wings again. At least the playoffs came back. Out of all the football around here, high school football came back. Michigan State came back. MAC came back. We never got the GLIAC back. So
my question for you.
I want my GLIAC football back.
I got a question for you.
Yes, sir.
I heard a rumor.
All right.
Are they playing games in the spring?
No.
So they won't be back until next year, August, September.
It'll be, that rumor has been going around. The way that I understand it is we might see some glorified scrimmages. You know what I mean? Like, just as an example, Hillsdale and Saginaw getting together and playing a glorified scrimmage.
So it'll
but bona fide quote-unquote games.
So it'll be something similar to like a an NFL team going to another NFL team's training camp and practicing with them for.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, you were a part of that. Didn't you do that once? Were you already gone when they did that a couple times?
Who?
Because one time the Lions had New England coming a couple times.
No, yeah, that was just last year.
Okay. Yeah, and there's maybe a couple of years ago. Yeah, you would have already been gone.
Yeah, I was gone. I was gone.
But I like honestly, I was very fortunate. Everything else came back. I got to experience a little bit of everything. But I really, I missed GLIAC football. Yeah. And you can attest to this. If you don't know, that's your fault. It's a great league and full of great people and a lot of hungry players like him that go on and make careers for themselves. And Paul Winter's one of my favorite people. I missed having conversations with Coach. I really did. Even though we did it, on the phone and we did it during Zoom and all that, it's not the same. It's not the same. It just isn't the same.
It is.
So I can't wait for it to come back.
Yeah, it's coming back.
Yep.
Art, what about you?
I'm sorry. I was envisioning my New Year's of just beating you on COD. That's all that I'm thinking about, really.
So that's your New Year's.
That's my New Year's.
What's your sports New Year's resolution?
As far as what I'm looking forward to seeing.
Never mind. I don't want to ask
sounds
that.
great.
No, he's out. Oh, he's out of there. He's out of there. You try to give Art an opportunity, but opportunity though, you can only prepare.
Listen, the only thing that I know is
you
MMA.
can only control two things in life, right? Is your effort and your attitude. You can't control opportunity. You can only be prepared for it when it presents itself. And
Listen, New Year's resolution
and when
as
I'm
far
talking, when I'm talking, you don't overtalk me. And so as I was saying, when you get this opportunity and you don't take advantage of it, it's out the window. It's out the window. It's like a train going by and the door's open. You gotta get the right time to hop in because you don't, the train's gone.
He's still going. He's still going. He doesn't stop.
You got a resolution? Come on up here.
Come on up, Kennedy.
Yeah, we love hearing from Kennedy. Poor Kennedy half the time is sitting there during our show going, "Oh, these guys. What am I gonna do about these guys?" Here, let me plug that in for you. Is that all right? There we go.
Good.
All right, Kennedy, what's your resolution?
Jenna said, "Shine snort."
My sports resolution
Is to see Darius Slay.
Well, always. But yeah, getting back to Detroit. But probably I want the Red Wings to name Larkin captain. Like, I think he's good. I think he has soaked in the culture enough. And I really think he'd be a great captain.
I think you're going to get your wish.
Woo!
I think you're. And you know what? I'll go a step further. I think your wish is going to happen sooner than you think.
Do you know something that I don't?
No.
Oh.
No.
He just knows sports.
No. I think it's going to happen sooner than you
Right.
think.
Yeah, because am I wrong? Was he an assistant captain already?
Yeah. You know what? How can I say this? He had to grow into the role of a captain.
I mean, I agree. He's only,
Joy, you understand what that,
Yeah.
Everything was there, but he had to grow into the role of the captain. And I think my understanding, what I've been told, is he's grown into the role of captain.
well, I'm proud of him.
How's
so.
that? I'm proud of him. All right.
I'm from Waterford. He's from Waterford.
Yeah,
we
I get it.
Love it.
I
love
get it.
Oh, okay.
All right, so can I ask you a question? Do you have a favorite moment in sports in 2020 while you're standing up here? I'll let
Sure.
Joy think about his, but we're going to put you on the spot, make you go first.
So, as a woman in sports, I will always root for other women in sports. So, Sarah Fuller this year was huge. Playing for Vandy, scoring points.
Great
She's the
story.
first woman ever to do that. And so, yeah, I'm very proud of her. And she won what'd she win? She's a soccer goalie as well. Mm-hmm. So they won their Southeastern Conference.
Did they win the SEC title?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, Sarah Fuller.
Do you know what the most important thing is? She said it, okay? Do you know how you shut people up?
Well,
It's one thing to have her run out there and squib kick a football, because then you know what the idiots say?
Yeah.
Well, anybody can do that. Anybody can do that. But when she goes out there and bangs a kick, that's a big middle finger to everybody.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It is.
Because you know as well as I do, I can squib kick. I did that when I was 11 on the kickball field. But when she trotted out there and banged a kick home, that's when you go, okay, mouth, what now?
yeah.
You want to try to do that because you're gonna fail miserably.
That's crazy. I played football with one girl before my life.
Yeah.
Yeah. Junior high. She played with me my 7th and 8th grade year. You know what position she played?
What?
Left guard.
You know what I played when I played the sorority Super Bowl?
No,
Center.
Center?
Did you really?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I
Check
was
you.
Aggressive with
You're
them.
aggressive. Did you ever want to go out for like football with playing with guys too?
I played hockey with guys.
Okay.
So, but I would love to play football.
Okay.
I wish I could, but 5 foot, Sarah's 6'2". So
Low man wins. Could
Low
you
man
imagine
wins.
getting low like that? Low
I could
man
go through
wins.
their legs with the ball. Don't you think that would work? I'm only 5 foot, people.
Can we get that video again?
All right.
Do the Kennedy. Do the Kennedy. It's a new dance craze.
Yeah.
Racing across the nation. It's Do the Kennedy.
I like
Well
it.
done.
Well
Thank you.
done.
Well
All right.
Well done. What'd you have?
For me, the Stanley Cup playoffs not being there in the springtime it took my soul. Like, I'm not joking. It took my soul. It was awful.
Mm-hmm.
That first week when they came back and they had on games every day.
Mm-hmm.
It started at noon, and then there's another one at 2, and there was another one at 4, and there was another one at 6, and there was another one at 8, there was another one at 10. It came at the right time too, because I was, full disclosure, and my friends will know this, I was done with the whole lockdown thing and all of it. I was done with it. I needed mentally to have a recharge. I mean, I was bored of being at home.
Mm-hmm.
I was used to going different places. All of a sudden, everything I did was from at home. And you know me, I'm kind of an energy guy.
Right.
I felt like my life was getting zapped. It came at the perfect time.
Good.
So that first round of the Stanley Cup playoffs with games all day long and being able to watch games with my friends, it was like the shot of adrenaline that my soul needed. So
needed it.
I know that's cheesy, but I love the Stanley Cup
You needed
playoffs. It was
There's nothing wrong with
just
it.
perfect timing, and it was good for my soul. So
Yeah.
that was my favorite time. Really was.
That's good. That's
First
good.
week of August.
All right, my favorite time was, I'm gonna tell you right now, was the bubble, the NBA bubble. Mm-hmm. Loved it. I love watching my man go get his number 4 ring, moving up in the ranks in Troy Reaver's top 5 of all-time basketball players in the NBA history. LeBron, Rondo, Dwight Howard, AD, that whole team coming together. The guys come off the bench, that team camaraderie. And, the thing I love about watching him play, whatever team he goes to, they always have that team camaraderie, right? They always have it to where we're no longer a team, we're family, and they play like it. You can watch this video of when LeBron takes a hard foul in the playoffs, hits the ground hard. The entire team is running to pick him up. And any player on the team, they're running to pick them up, right? That's the type of culture we need to have here that we're going to have. I feel we're going to have that culture. When the player hits the ground, the whole team needs to be running to go pick him up. And that's period. It just shows that you care for your teammate. And then when you have that type of energy on the court or any professional sport, it feels like those are the teammates, those are the guys I want to go to bat for day in, day out, home game away. We go anywhere, I got y'all back, you got mine, and it's kind of like us against the world.
Yeah.
So I remember when I played for the Lions, we were, 2-6. It was us, 1-7, I'm sorry, 1-7. Started the season off 1-7.
2015?
2015, 1-7. And when we came back off that bye week, we understood then that it's us against the world right now. We got to play for each other. We finished 6-2, and honestly, the games we lost, we should have won. The Green Bay game with the ghost face mask, went into the next week against the Rams, and we lost that game as well. And then we kind of pulled ourselves back together. But once they get that team camaraderie, that respect for each other in the locker room, I'm not saying there's no respect, it's respect there, but once they get that camaraderie where it's more of a family type setting, and you're a brother, like you're my brother type of setting, then that's when they'll start to turn around.
You know what's crazy? You and I both picked kind of the same thing because the Stanley Cup playoffs were in a bubble. The NBA playoffs were in a bubble. And I was talking to our boy Fish about this before the show started. We'll never see that again in our lives. And it worked. It worked. And
they figured it out.
You know what was cool about it was the schedule. We'll never see that schedule again. We'll never, ever see. And you know what? Gosh damn it. That's a great schedule. That's a great. I would love nothing more than to have a hockey game at noon. Even if it was the first week of April. Are you kidding me? Drop the puck. You're never going to do that again.
That's how it was during the fights, too. Like the UFC fights. And, fighting through a pandemic, too, obviously was crazy because there's no crowd, so you could hear everything. But the schedule, too, like being in Abu Dhabi in the bubble, they were able to have a pay-per-view at 2 p.m. instead of 10 p.m. It was great. I'm old, so I like to go to bed by midnight, but it was nice to have that, afternoon Saturday with your friends, being able to watch the fights and not stay up till 3 o'clock in the morning.
Loved it. We kind of had an open house one day. My buddy Mike, who does the smoke show, and a couple friends, where I told everybody, you come over anytime you want. We were smart. We kept the numbers down because originally I was going to have a blowout, and then we decided, nah, forget it. But it was, I had a couple friends come over at noon, and they could stay for a little while. Then I had a couple buddies come over at like 2:30, and it was just one of those days. And it was so weird because we're never going to see that again.
Right.
That's that. We're going to go back to they need to make their money, and I respect that. I'm not dissing that. It's all about the money, but they're going to go back to we got to have our 7 o'clock puck drop, so all the fannies are in the seat by the time the puck drops. Buying concessions, same thing. Tip off at 7, next game at 8:30, next game at 10:30, so the fannies can be in the seats. But
that's true.
To be at home, man, it was cool.
Yeah,
it was cool.
I know that some of the NBA players, they actually liked the bubble. They feel like it was easier on their body. Yeah. They said instead of they'll play the game, they can go do their rehab in the locker room, take a shower. Instead of hopping on a flight, flying for 4.5, 5 hours, they can just go right back to the hotel.
Yeah.
Hop right back in the bed, and they didn't have that wear and tear of having that season. They said that's why a lot of guys started to play better in the bubble. And so that was interesting to hear.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. I heard that from, I think Dollar Dame said that. He enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was easier on his body.
Why? It's amazing.
Less distractions.
Yeah, I'll tell you, it's interesting because, if you have a family, that was difficult. All the videos of the guys coming out of the bubble and going to see their family, whether it be the NHL or the NBA, if I was a single guy that was focused on the game, you betcha, I'd probably like the bubble too.
Yeah.
And depending on how you feel about your family, I'd really like the bubble. I can't see you guys as long as we keep winning. Rats, I hope we stop winning.
Hey,
right?
guys, we got to keep winning.
Yeah, come on, guys, I'll give you money here. I'll write your checks. Keep winning. Do what you have to do to do
play
that.
for free.
So,
No.
yeah, good time. So, by the way, so many people said, have a good New Year's. Tony, right back to you and everybody else. What is New Year's Eve for you?
So New Year's Eve for me is going to be, so my sister made this this mac and cheese, right? And she made two. So she made one, and then she prepped another one. So basically, it's sitting in my freezer now. I just have to take it out, unthaw it, and then just put it in the oven for 45 minutes, right? 45 minutes to an hour at 350. And I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do some barbecuing. I'm gonna have my niece, nephew, my sister over. That's here in the city. Throw some asparagus on there. Probably do some steaks for them. If you want to do something and save me the time of day, you can come over with your smoker or something. You can do all the cooking, all the
put it
grilling.
on the back of the truck.
Yeah, you can do all the grilling.
I'm gonna be
and yeah, we're gonna sit back and probably bring the New Year's in. Probably watching the movie after I spank some butt and cod. Real quick, I want to see what Art we're gonna do today. Hey, Art, what you doing for New Year's?
What am I doing for New Year's?
Yeah,
I'm
what you doing for New
literally, I've told you a million times what I'm doing for New Year's. It's going to be over. It's going to be game over. I can't wait for You know, the thing is you talk so much trash, but yet you lost. You lost. You literally lost. And then you want to do the whole trash can thing. I get it.
I know. I wanted you to face me as we were talking. I had to turn you around.
I'm right here. I'm not a trash can.
No,
ask my wife. We got triplets.
I did ask
Obviously,
her.
I'm doing something good.
I did ask her. She asked the one who told me to put this up here.
Listen, I'm excited. 1v1 this Thursday, 9 p.m., which is tomorrow, just in case if you forget, Joik. I know, the younger generation here, our memory's more intact, and we're better at video games.
How old are you again, Art?
I'm 31.
You 31? Oh, okay. Yeah. I guess we both millennials. I guess it's the younger generation. Okay.
Hey, see you guys. Happy New Year. We'll talk to you again Monday. Be safe. 2020's gone. Let's celebrate. Bye.
All right, cool. Got to take the trash out.